Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Listen, whether you like it or not, Tyson Fury, he may need AJ more than Tyson Fury needs Usyk. You see, it's one thing to become undisputed, right? First heavyweight champion in the four-belt era. That's a huge accomplishment, which no one has managed to achieve, right? That's a fact. Now, for some weird reason, some kind of wicked sorcery, hocus pocusism, it seems like for some reason, these top heavyweights are afraid of being great, are afraid of losing. Everyone just wants to chase money. Nobody wants legacy. If they truly wanted legacy, you would have seen that undisputed belt happen years ago with Wilder and AJ, right? But I tell you what, they didn't want to hold their horses, and they took it to the stupid. Come fast forward to where we are now, same crap with Fury and Usyk. Money comes before the legacy. The thing is, the money will always be there. But let's set that aside. Tyson Fury's in a very unique position. He's the only heavyweight in this position. And this is why I say he may need AJ more than he needs Usyk. Now, a lot of people feel Tyson Fury needs Usyk to become the undisputed first heavyweight champion, undisputed heavyweight champion in the four-belt era. To that, I say, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. You have to understand how Tyson Fury's mind works. And I'm not saying that I fully understand how his mind works, but I know for a fact, because he said it, he feels like, what's left for me to achieve? I've had all the belts, WBC, ring, IBF, WBA, WBO. Man, everything. He's had everything. He's had every belt. What does he care about holding them all simultaneously? He's touched them all. Okay? So with that understanding, trying to really understand the mindset of a guy who's like, what's left for me to do? I've had them all. He's just never had them all simultaneously. That's why I think with him, he's not so concerned about fighting Usyk for legacy. His thing is like, it's cool to become undisputed, but it's even better for me in the position I'm in, looking at my wife has been giving me pressure for years to stop boxing. I kind of want to stop boxing, but I like this money. But at the same time, I think I need boxing because without boxing, you sit idle. You don't have anything really constructive to do. Yeah, he has the kids, he has family, he has friends, but Tyson Fury has bad habits. And what I mean by bad habits is he has a tendency to want to go and indulge in dipsomania. And see, dipsomania ruins so many people, not just athletes, not just professionals, but even the common man. Dipsomania is an uncontrollable urge to consume alcohol. And that's what Tyson Fury is. He's a dipsomaniac. And like Mike Tyson is a guy who he can't just go and work out. He goes overboard. He can't just go and spend $1,000. He goes overboard and spends millions. That's how Tyson Fury is when it comes to partying. Hey, Daddy's on. Go out there for a second. I'll be right there. Okay, baby? Close the door, baby. Hold on one second. I got kids, man. He'll be all right. But I'm not going to edit that out because I'm human. But with Tyson Fury, he's like that. Without boxing, Tyson Fury falls back into that hole. He ends up battling with his mind. And I think Tyson Fury, without boxing, ends up back in a very bad state. But when you take a look at all of that, and Tyson Fury continuing to fight, let's forget about Usyk. Why do I feel Tyson Fury really needs AJ? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because you see, it's one thing to go to another neighborhood and fight the biggest and baddest guy in the other neighborhood and beat his butt. And come back to your neighborhood and you got a guy over there. You got the reputation now of beating somebody in another neighborhood, a bully, but in your neighborhood they got a guy who's big and bad. And although many people feel, you know what, he's proven that he can beat so-and-so. But what about this tough guy over here? This is our area. But he hasn't fought him. And that's what I think it is. In Tyson Fury's backyard, in his own neighborhood, they got a big bad guy, you know, and I'm not saying he's a bully, but you understand, just an analogy, right? He's got a big bad bully over there in the UK. And that's Anthony Joshua. And for Tyson Fury to really stand as the biggest and baddest British heavyweight boxer of this era, he's got to get in there and do the business with Anthony Joshua. And you know what? I really feel that that needs to happen. Okay? Now, the kind of money that's on the table for the undisputed distinction is huge. But I think Fury and Joshua brings even more money to the table, whether they have it in the UK or if they have it over in the over in the Middle East. I would say Saudi Arabia. So the Anthony Joshua fight is much bigger than Usyk when you look at it. And I tell you what, you want fans to get behind it, to get behind the fight? Watch that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight get made, and let's see what happens. See how crazy people go. Because right now, how many people consider Tyson Fury number one? A lot of people probably did, right? But then he had the whole crap there with Usyk and people not understanding the gamesmanship that's taking place. Tyson Fury lost a lot of fans. AJ just reemerged again. There are a lot of people, you know, bandwagonism is real. A lot of people back on the AJ train. So Tyson Fury isn't really holding that number one spot. Then, I'm not even going to get into it. What I'm going to tell you is Tyson Fury and Wilder. Tyson Fury beat him. Okay? First fight a draw, the other 2 times he beat him. Simple. Those are the facts. That's what we know. Okay? Without getting into all the other crap. But he still, because of just so many question marks around those fights with Wilder, I really think Tyson Fury out there in the UK, in order to be considered really number one, because see, it matters out there in the UK, my understanding. It's one thing to be over here in the United States and go to other countries in Germany and beat people, but in the UK, you know, if you want to walk around and hold your head high, you got to make sure you're pleasing the fans, because man, fans are serious over there in the UK. And I think Tyson Fury understands that. But I think he's up against time because, you know, he's got a home life. And he has to strike the right balance. And you got the morale of your family versus the mission of boxing. What's the sweet spot? You understand? You've got to compromise somewhere. Something's going to get sacrificed. And boxing, which I'm going to describe as the mission, has always been the priority. I'm not saying morale, the family life and morale hasn't been important, but what I'm telling you is the mission has been the priority for the most part. Because of him putting the mission first, family's been taken care of financially. But there's a whole nother piece there that maybe been a little bit of a void. And he's got to fill it. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people out there who are saying, when it comes to the heavyweight division, look, Deontay Wilder, he's bubbling back up. But the fight people really want to see for Wilder and Fury is AJ. But when it comes to Tyson Fury, look, who knows what's going to happen when it comes to Tyson Fury, whether he's going to stay in boxing, get out of boxing, retire, come back to boxing. You just don't know. But one thing I know for a fact is Tyson Fury has an appetite for challenges. That man has an appetite for his country. He has an appetite for being the greatest and being seen as an extremely amazing, dominant boxer, the Gypsy King. But he also has a huge appetite for Anthony Joshua. There's a reason why Tyson Fury is always talking about Anthony Joshua. He's a bodybuilder. This is going to be the Battle of Britain and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why he talks about that, because that matters to him. Does it matter to Anthony Joshua? I think it matters to Anthony Joshua somewhat, but more of a challenge, not necessarily as the Battle of Britain. Who's the best British heavyweight champion of this era? I don't really think that's something Anthony Joshua is thinking about when he's going into negotiations when he went into negotiations with Fury. I think Anthony Joshua sees it more as a business move and a challenge. I think Tyson Fury really sees it as, if he beats Anthony Joshua, when he goes out and about and he's in the local pubs, he'll really be seen as like a British hero, a guy who, when they talk about as far as the best ever British heavyweight fighter, his name may rise above Lennox Lewis. And the reason I say that is because there's so many people who are like, yo, what's Lennox Lewis? He Jamaican? He a Yardie? He from Canada? Or he from the UK? You know, you're a citizen of everywhere means you're a resident of everywhere make you a citizen of nowhere. You know what I mean? You got a passport to everywhere. People can't take you serious. You're representing a little bit of everything. Come on, man. Well, Tyson Fury, strictly the UK. He talk a little about Ireland, we know, but he's strictly the UK. Anthony Joshua, he's African. You know, his parents are African. He sees it. He's from the UK. But when you have that cultural tie somewhere else, you take pride in that. And you tend to talk about that. I know I do. I'm born here in the States. But you know, when you have that lineage to the Caribbean, you know what I'm saying? That's home. But I'm born here. But if you ask me what's home, I'll tell you Trinidad, man. But I'm born here. But people wouldn't understand that culturally. I got friends, parents and stuff, man, from the Philippines, Thailand, guys from Germany. Born here. We all born here. First generation. But ask them about home. It's a culture thing. So with Anthony Joshua, I just think Tyson Fury would probably get more recognition as a homegrown, straight up Brit. Now, I'm not saying Anthony Joshua isn't that. What I'm telling you is, when I hear Tyson Fury talk, he's always talking about the Gypsies, of course, but you know, England, the UK, Joshua too. But he talks a lot about Africa too because he's proud of his culture. But I really think for a guy like Tyson Fury, getting in the ring with Anthony Joshua, doing the business with Anthony Joshua, would fulfill a burning desire in Tyson Fury to want to be really cemented as the boss, the UK boss of this era when it comes to boxing. And some would say that he's already there. But I would say that, you know what? I think he has some more work to do. And the one area, though, that I think with Tyson Fury, and I could be wrong, so if you're out there in the UK, you know, you can go ahead and chime in the comments. You know, I hear mixed things about Anthony Joshua being for the people, about the people, and how the people support him. But then I hear that that's not the case. UK fans in the UK don't like him. You know, then I hear people saying the same thing about Tyson Fury. So I'm like, you know, I'm not over there. But why? I had somebody contact me and told me a whole bunch of stuff. Blew my mind. I take it with a grain of salt because, you know, I don't know this person. They just see me doing videos and wanted to share some stuff with me. I wouldn't repeat the stuff they said because it was like, yo, when I tell you craziness, I was like, all right, well, you know, thank you for sharing that with me. But I'll tell you what I took from that conversation is it seemed that from what was explained to me is some people feel that with Anthony Joshua, what you don't see on camera is someone who thinks he's better than people, who seems to feel entitled and doesn't really grasp that we may share a different financial status in life, but we all share the same dignity. And they said it with him, it's more like different status means different dignity. And because his financial status is a lot greater than most people, then his dignity is greater. And he treats people less than, you know, than what they deserve to be treated. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't know anything about that. But that's just me, in a nutshell, giving you what the person told me. They told me a whole lot, but I just dumbed it all the way down to what I just gave you in a nutshell. But that being said, we're going to see what exactly happens with Fury and with Joshua. doesn't matter for me to sit here and do a deep dive into their fights, who has the knockouts, and do a tail of the tape. We all know what the hell's going on. If you're watching this video, you all know pretty familiar with AJ, pretty familiar with Tyson Fury. I don't need to do a damn tail of the tape on these two guys. But the real question is, we understand what Tyson Fury, we understand what him and Usyk bring to the table as far as the undisputed distinction. But what I think is even more important, and where I think there's even more of a demand, a greater demand, is for him and Anthony Joshua to get in the ring and to fight. And I do think that Battle of Britain means more to Tyson Fury than being an undisputed champion, because he's touched all the hardware already. But the thing is, can we see these two get in the ring? Because like a lot of the old legends have said, even Lennox Lewis said it, these guys don't care about legacy. These days they want the money. And what they don't realize is the money will be there, the money's gonna come. If you get an opportunity to fight for a title, especially undisputed, take advantage of the opportunity while it presents itself, because you have no control over the future and you don't know what's gonna happen. And he's absolutely correct. But that being said, some of these guys see things a little bit differently these days. But at the end of the day, I like to see Fury and AJ, especially after AJ gets maybe one or two more fights underneath him. I don't care what anyone says. I truly believe Andy Ruiz took a pound of flesh out of AJ, and we'll see if he can get that confidence back. At the same time, I feel Deontay took a pound of flesh out of Fury. And we'll see just how Fury responds if he gets into it with another big guy who can hit him and hurt him. And Anthony Joshua has more than enough qualities to do that. But there's something missing up here. And we'll see if Derek James can get it right. If he can get it right, we may see a great fight between AJ and Tyson Fury. Look, man, two titans. Two big British titans. These guys are it's like King Kong and Godzilla, man. So hopefully they can sort things out. But leave your comments below. The question is, does Tyson Fury need AJ more than he needs Usyk? If you ask me, I say yes. But I want to hear what you think. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans on 7 continents. And the breeze.